Hello and welcome back. My name is Wessel and today we're going to look at text analysis. So first off, I would highly recommend that you read the whole play. Why is this necessary? Well, it goes without saying that in order to have as much information about your character at your disposal as you will need to portray him or her, you will need to read the whole story. So I recommend you read the play twice. The first time you do it is just to get a sense of the story, the narrative, your character. And then secondly, you dive a little bit deeper and you try and identify the major themes. And why is this important? Well, I think as an actor, we're very sort of self-involved. We want to emote and we want to express and we want to show off. But we are at service of the play. We are in service of the playwright. And whatever he wanted to say with the play, whatever he wanted to communicate, it is our job to do that as clearly and articulately as possible. So we actually have a big responsibility, bigger than just any self-serving motives. So another thing that's important about reading the whole play in relation to your monologue is that if this is a linear story chronologically, you need to know where in the arc of the play your monologue fits in. So you will know where to pitch it energetically and emotionally. For instance, in Amadeus, the monologue I chose is at the very beginning. It sets the tone, it gives necessary information. So I know that I can't pitch it up here because then I have nowhere else to go. I've peaked too soon. And because so much information is being relayed, I need to slow it down. I need to invite the audience in. So I can't go too fast. I can't be too intense. And I also know that in my specific case, we meet Salieri at the end of his life and we then jump back in time. So I am very lucky in that all the biographical information, all the motives, all the objectives are laid out and built systematically through the course of the play. So I need to read the whole thing in order to know where to begin, because that's essentially where the character ends up. I then like to broaden my scope, and this is something that I feel we sometimes skip over. And it seems unnecessary, but it is actually crucial to know who wrote it and why did they write it. So in my case, it's the playwright Peter Schaffer, who is responsible for many modern classics, and two of which I found very helpful to get a sense of what the playwright is, what makes him tick, what keeps him buzzed, is The Royal Hunt of the Sun and Equus. Now, The Royal Hunt of the Sun is an exploration of colonialism and religion. And Equus, and this is all broad strokes, is about sexuality and religion and how those two things interlock. So I know that Schaffer is very interested in our relationship to a higher power and how that is structured in religion. So Salieri, my character, is in a sort of crisis of faith. He does not feel adequately talented, and he also wonders where talent comes from. He begged God to give him enough talent to become a great composer, and he then meets Mozart, who at the age of 10 is a complete genius and redefines the concept of talent. It is an utter gift. And because Salieri feels that Mozart has been given such a bounty of talent, in relation to him who was given not enough to be considered a genius. And this is a major theme in the play, and the struggle and the conversation that Salieri then has with God, or his idea of God, is the major driving force. I would not have known this had I not cast my net a little bit wider than just sort of the emotional anxiety of the character. And just reading through the play, I can sense that there are themes of professional jealousy, of artistic insecurity, which I think is something that Schaffer questions about himself, and perhaps just questions in general in the world that he lives in. He could maybe identify it in other people. And so he chose Salieri and Amadeus's relationship as a vehicle to contain and portray those larger existential questions. Now, this is too vague and too existential to portray tangibly. So I'm not going to try and grapple with those themes yet. I'm just going to let them simmer here in my subconscious as I systematically work through the text. And it's very important to let ideas or themes sort of lie in the back of your mind and ferment. And then when you start working more constructively, you can channel those ideas and see how your character is used to portray, is used as the key to unlock these mysteries. Because essentially, that is what the audience is going to take home with them when they leave the theatre. Not how brilliant you were, I'm sure that is part of it, but it's about the whole play, about the message, about the feeling, about holding up a mirror to society. And that is your responsibility. And you cannot do that unless you do proper research and proper text analysis.